Make sure you hit that subscribe button before we get started. I never imagined a single message could tear my entire world apart. My name is Oliver. I'm 36, and for 8 years I believed my marriage to Harper was steady, grounded, and built on mutual trust. We lived in a modest two-bedroom place in the city, shared our lives with Milo, our endlessly loyal dog, and settled into routines that felt comforting in their repetition. What I didn't realize was that even the calmest, most predictable life can hide fractures that stay invisible until something forces them into the light. It was around 1 a.m. when my phone buzzed. Half asleep, I assumed it was just some random notification or an alert I'd forgotten to turn off. But the moment I glanced at the screen, every trace of sleep vanished. The message wasn't from Harper. It was from her boss, Evan, sent from her phone. "She's occupied right now. She'll call later." I stared at the words, my pulse hammering in my ears. Occupied. Such a simple word, but it hit like an accusation. Something in me twisted, a deep instinct telling me that whatever this was, it wasn't innocent. For years I'd given Harper space, supported her long nights at the office, trusted her trips and excuses and reassurances. Suddenly, that trust felt like thin glass cracking beneath one careless tap. I didn't think. I didn't analyze. I typed the only thing my gut had left in it. "No need. You can have her. We're done." Sending it felt like punching a hole straight through my own chest, but it also felt unavoidable. 8 years of loyalty, patience, compromises. I felt them all collapse in the span of a single midnight text. Before I could gather myself, before my breathing even steadied, the doorbell rang. My heart dropped. No one should have been at my door at that hour. When I opened it, Harper stood there with Evan right beside her. She looked wrecked, tear-streaked face, mascara smudged, eyes wide and terrified. Evan hovered a little behind her, stiff and awkward, as if he wasn't sure if he belonged in the moment at all. "Oliver," Harper whispered, reaching out. I stepped back, refusing her touch. Evan tried to explain, stumbling over half-formed sentences. "I didn't mean she's okay. It's not what you think." I let out a sharp, humorless laugh. "You send a message at 1 a.m. from her phone, and I'm supposed to pretend it means nothing?" Harper begged me to listen, voice trembling. I couldn't. The betrayal was too fresh, too raw. I told them both I couldn't do this. Not tonight, and shut the door. I spent the rest of the night sitting on the sofa, Milo curled against my leg, replaying everything. That message. Their faces at the door. The way my marriage suddenly felt like a stranger. Morning came, heavy and silent. By mid-morning, they were back. Harper looked even worse than before, hair messy, eyes swollen. Evan hovered behind her like a man hoping to disappear. "Please," she said softly. "I just want to tell you the truth." I told her I didn't want excuses. Just honesty. She insisted she'd only called Evan for advice, that she panicked, that the message wasn't what it looked like. Evan nodded along, offering some vague explanation about trying to help. But at that point, their words didn't matter. The damage had already carved itself into the foundation of my marriage. Trust isn't something that breaks dramatically. It snaps quietly, in moments like that message, the kind you can't unsee. "I can't go back to this," I said, calm but certain. "Trust is gone." Harper reached for me again, desperate. I stepped away. "Love isn't enough when honesty isn't there," I told her. "Not anymore." Evan tried to add something, but Harper stopped him. She knew. She understood the finality in my voice. She whispered, "I made a mistake." "Mistakes have consequences," I replied. "This is one of them." I told them both to leave. The door clicked shut behind them, and for the first time in years, the silence in the apartment felt like mine. Milo curled into my lap again as I sank onto the couch. The emptiness was sharp, but underneath it was something else, a strange lightness, a clarity that hadn't existed the night before. There were no dramatic arguments, no scenes worthy of a movie. Just a quiet unraveling of trust, and a decision I couldn't avoid if I wanted to respect myself. That night, for the first time in months, I slept alone and actually breathed. Not easily, not painlessly, but freely. And when morning sunlight spread through the blinds, I realized something I had never fully understood before. Betrayal doesn't always come in grand gestures. Sometimes it arrives in a brief message, a late-night excuse, a moment someone hoped you'd never discover. But choosing yourself afterward, that's where real strength begins.